Alrighty, what's going on, guys? We are installing the intercooler today. We're gonna make this part one. I think I'm just gonna get this mocked up and run the piping quickly. I do believe for this kit, I do have to notch a little bit of this rusty frame here. So I'll notch that, but right now I am just getting the AC condenser brackets put onto the front crash or the front half of the frame, only because I'm not running a condenser. So that's why I need to get these installed. I'm just double checking to make sure what bolts fit because I'm just using bolts that I have laying around. Looks like this bolt fits, so I'm gonna get this other bracket mounted up, and then we can at least get the intercooler put on through the top bolts. And then I will have to drill out 2 little holes here so I can fit bolts through there as well. But that's gonna be part one. I'm gonna get the intercooler installed and see where we end up after that. Alrighty, so we got the top bolts mounted on the intercooler. Do you think this is how it's gonna sit? So we got that bracket there, this bracket here. I did have to drill out the holes for the bolts that I am using. You can see right down there where that little flange is. I am gonna have to drill that out so that way I can fit the bottom bolts on. I might have to slide it out a little bit. I think something like that, yeah. So I'll get those bottom bolts attached, and then the front mount is on. I just have to run the pipes. Alrighty, so I got those bolts at the bottom there installed. I don't know how I'm gonna actually get them tightened, but I'm gonna get these upper bolts tightened right now, just at least enough so it's not gonna, I don't feel like it'll fall off. And then I'm gonna try to get those bottom bolts tightened. I think I might be able to sweep through those little corners there. But yeah, intercooler is on. It is massive. It's almost the size of the rad, so that's pretty wicked. Yeah, we're gonna see where we get off from after tightening it, and then I'll try to route the piping, see how we get through all this mess. Alrighty, so the intercooler all bolted in. I went ahead to try to go and put on this intercooler piping here, and it was hitting this area of the frame, so I'm just gonna get that cut down a little bit, and this should fit. We'll give that a shot. All right, progress has been a little slow. I have all the intercooler piping up front here now. I was chopping away at this frame. I angled it, so I just have the one spot that really needs to be cut for the intercooler piping. I'm looking at the passenger side here. That's how the pipe is supposed to go. I just need to figure out how to get it on there properly, so that way it clears and goes up and around the subframe down there, and then loops through the front here. Well, that's where we're at. Intercooler, main part is on. I just need to get the piping all routed. And this throttle body coupler here, I do have to replace that because I am running a stock 8th gen throttle body, not a ZDX or a J37 or a K-tuned. So we'll find a throttle body coupler for that, but in the meantime, I'm gonna get the piping on down here, and then probably be it for now. I do have to run out to go pick up a turbo blanket for the turbo and some high heat gold heat wrap, so I can wrap up all the wirings in here as well before I install the manifold. All right, little update. We got the intercooler piping just mounted on this side here. I don't have this side on yet, but I'll get to that shortly. Right now, I just started heat wrapping this harness in the back here. I have disconnected basically everything up here, so I had this wiring mess. I'm just going to try to tuck this all to the side there, so that way I don't have to worry about it yet. ECU is disconnected. Purge valve is just hanging to the side here right now as well. Get that out of here. Now I have more than enough space to swing that Sidewinder in. I just want to get the tape wrapped up on the back here, and then I can at least put that manifold in. However, I did pick up some Super Speed Factory exhaust manifold studs because my head does not have any. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it doesn't have any studs on the back there, so I just got these to make my install and life a lot easier. So I'm going to continue heat wrapping that, and then we'll do the stud install, and we'll put the Sidewinder on there, and then I'll get to the rest of the intercooler piping taken care of. I just want to see this car with that fat turbo sitting right beside that head. That's going to get me super excited. Alrighty, So I got the back harness wrapped up as best as I can. It's not pretty, but you're not going to see it, so I don't care too much. I still have all of this here, which right now, if I just lean it like that, that is out of the way, so I don't need to worry too much about it. I have all these lines here, the purge valve, fuel line, the heater core lines. I do believe on the video I was watching from Dan Kellert, he had trimmed off this piece here, and he also swapped out this upper neck here for the coolant. I think I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully that works. I'm just going to thread in the bolts there, or the studs on the back of the head, and I can get the Sidewinder in because that will be wicked. So I'm going to have the intercooler and turbo on, and I think that will look badass. So we'll take a look once we get there. Alrighty, so I got the Speed Factory exhaust manifold studs in there. They're all tight now. I think it was just a 2mm Allen bolt or Allen key just to get them tightened in. I am gonna put the gasket on it, and then I'm gonna throw the manifold on just to see what that looks like. Space wise, I think we're looking pretty good. I'm gonna have to deal with all that once everything is mocked up, so I have a rough idea where that's all going. Alrighty, so the Sidewinder is in partial location. I need to still get it bolted up and actually on the studs. Oh man, it's making me realize how tight this engine bay really is, especially with a K24 in it. But I'm gonna pick away at this, try to get everything lined up, and see where we get from there. Alrighty, Sidewinder is on the studs. I don't know if you can see that. When they're on the studs, I do have these little heater core lines in the back here that are blocking this pipe here. So I'm going to pull those lines off. Hopefully don't leak too much coolant. I did drain it, so we should be clear. And I'm going to have to work around the actual turbo kit itself. So everything will go in, and then we'll do all the wiring after. If it goes that way, great. If it doesn't, we'll figure it out on the way as well. Well, I got these lines disconnected. However, as you can see, that one's still filled with coolant. That one has some coolant in it too. So I'm gonna have to try to pull the Sidewinder right back out and try to drain those lines, and then we can proceed. So we'll see where we get after we get those lines out and drained. All right, so the Sidewinder is bolted up. The studs did make it a lot easier, except for that stud right there. Nearly impossible to tighten. Everything else is tightened. I just need to tighten that one. Right now, I'm just going to try to mock up the turbo to see what it looks like, and then we'll carry on after we get from there. Okay, this is wicked. Look at that. So I just test fitted the filter on here because I know a lot of people replace the rad hose. I think I got like millimeters of clearance. I still don't even know if I'm going to run the filter. I kind of want to go with just a turbo guard, so open filter with just a turbo guard. But just look at that. That is a massive turbo looking at it beside the cylinder head. This is crazy. I'm so excited for this build to keep on going and be so stoked once it's running. This is just the mock-up. I can now see roughly what I have to do with wirings. But that is going to be it for this video. We have the intercooler installed. Still need to run the piping. We'll get all that sorted. I need to clean up all of this wiring mess, because now I know where everything is going to be running to. I don't know how this coolant temp sensor is going to run without burning up, but I'm going to heat wrap as much as I can. Hopefully this all turns out well, but man, look at that. That is a wicked view. Oh, I'm so excited. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you next time. We'll have more videos on this. That's going to be it for this one though. Intercooler, manifold, turbo. Ran out of storage space, but as I was saying, that is going to be it for this video, guys. Intercooler's installed, manifold's installed, turbo's installed. Next video, we are going to be taking care of all the wiring here. We might even start the plumbing. Who knows? I know I still have to get those heater core wires, or those heater core lines in the back taken care of. There's a better view. So, turbo is probably going to come off again, but just looking at it is wicked. Like I said, though, hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time.